Hello, friends. It's Miss Erin. And as promised, here is another YouTube video for spring break. So, I'm going to be reading you a story, and I have left packets with you guys, and I will explain a little bit what those activities are after the story. So, Easter's coming up, guys. So, we're going to read the very first Easter egg. It is written by Suzanne Berry and illustrated by Krista Couch and Azusa Amora. So, here we go. I'm excited. In a meadow abuzz with the promise of spring, on a hillside not far away, two bunnies were sniffing and hopping along on a beautiful sunshiny day. The littlest bunny, whose name was Pascal, looked around with inquisitive eyes, while his sister, named Daffodil, tied daisy chains and made friends with a new butterfly. Suddenly, something sparkled nearby. A pebble, he thought, or dew? But then Pascal heard a whistle and a thump as a third bunny bounced into view. "Hi, Clovis," he said to their boisterous friend, perking up his cute little ears, but Clovis just jumped and excitedly said, "There's a girl on her way over here." A girl. I wonder what's going to happen. The fluffle of bunnies peeked over the grass, careful not to make a sound, and there, sure enough, was a girl drawing near who appeared to be searching the ground. The young bunnies knew they'd better get home from the warnings and tales they'd been told, but before he could leave, Pascal had to see and retrieve that trinket of gold. I'm excited to see what happens. Back at the burrow with his curious find, Pascal admired its sheen. He'd found many treasures, but this was by far the most wondrous of any he'd seen. As he pictured its place in his cherished collection and showed the others his prize, the trinket snapped open to reveal something more, much to the bunny's surprise. "Well, wiggle my whiskers," said Clovis with a shock. "That's the girl from the meadow today." "Oh, no," cried Daffodil. "What if it's hers?" she said with concern and dismay. The locket opened, and there's that little girl. Pascal's little ears wilted with worry. He must give it back, he knew. The girl would be missing her beautiful treasure. It was obvious what he should do. "Don't worry," said Daffodil, seeing his frown. "I know how upset you must be, but when we give joy, it comes back to us. Just wait, Pascal, you'll see." With that, Pascal brightened and thought of a plan that would help to make everything right. "I'll tuck the girl's treasure in one of my eggs and hide it for her in plain sight." "I'll help," said Daffodil, gathering supplies. "We'll splash it with sunshine like spring." "And I'll help deliver it," Clovis joined in. "Adventure is my kind of thing." Using acorns for bowls and paint brushes made from flower buds, feathers, and sticks, the three set to work blending pigments and dyes for a radiant, sun-sprinkled mix. They painted the egg and traced sweet designs with beeswax and pansy pastels, and then, using spider thread, sealed the small treasure inside the beautiful shell. Look at that egg they made. That's so pretty. I love it. With the eggshell now painted, the bunny set out, joined by a number of friends. Some bluebirds helped scout the meadow ahead, while chipmunks popped up from their dens. Clovis's jumping club leapfrogged along, performing gymnastics and kicks, but their bouncing and bumbling sent the egg tumbling. Thankfully, Daffodil's quick. Look, she caught it. A paddling of ducklings then wanted to help, but were flapping and splashing so loud, Pascal just said thank you and hurried along. It was hard to sneak up with a crowd. At last, the three bunnies came to a fence and peeked their sweet noses around. But just as Pascal started to hide the egg, he heard a high signal type sound. The whistle, he realized, then saw something move that made his ears rigid with fright. A barn cat was tiptoeing through the tall grass with little Pascal in his sights. Oh no. In a flash, Pascal jumped around the wood fence and joined his companions to hide. But in his mad dash, he dropped the girl's egg with the beautiful treasure inside. Pascal hunkered down, his ears lying back as he trembled with fear at the thought that despite all they'd done to deliver the egg, they'd been found by a cat. They were caught. At that very moment, a soft, gentle voice called out as the wildflowers stirred. "Oh, Barnaby Tom, you silly old cat." And with that, the cat cheerfully purred. The bunnies looked up. There was the girl, and scarcely a few hops away. She was not walking nearby with a basket in hand, picking a springtime bouquet. Pascal held his breath as she stepped closer yet. "Oh, please look," he wanted to beg, and then the girl paused, tilted her head, leaned down, and discovered the egg. "Sweetheart," the girl heard her mother's voice call, "we'll be late for the big celebration." But the girl just stood there, her eyes wide with awe at the beautiful bunny creation. And then the girl gently opened the egg and gasped with surprise when she saw the locket she loved and thought she had lost, the one from Grandma and Grandpa. As the girl jumped with joy, Pascal felt it too. He'd known nothing like this before. His small act of kindness had made a child's day, a feeling he'd love evermore. The girl smiled a smile as big as the sky, and when she ran laughing from view, Pascal understood deep in his heart what Daffodil told him was true. Indeed, the world's full of treasures and gifts, and though we might hide them away, the more we give, the more joy we have. Life's kind of funny that way. And so Pascal decided right then he'd do this for kids every year, and that's why he's called the Easter Bunny now and is loved from ear to ear. The end. That was an awesome story about maybe how Easter started with the Easter Bunny giving out eggs. And it's very true. When you give happiness to others, it comes back to you. So, I want to go over your guys' stuff that I left you. So there's 3 activities in here. The first one is exercises. Exercises. You have some eggs and you have paper, and each one has an exercise on it. You're going to hide the eggs with the paper in. And then when you find them, you do the exercise, everybody together. And that way you get a good little workout in, and it's fun to count and do a scavenger hunt at the same time. Speaking of scavenger hunts, springtime is almost officially here. And there's a spring scavenger hunt. You guys can go for a walk, go to the park, and try and find all these things. It'll be super fun. And the last one is like a fun science activity that I like to do every year this time of year, is to make a glowing egg. So you're just going to follow these directions. I know it looks like a lot, but really all you have to do is put egg and vinegar and just watch what happens. And it's really cool. Talk to your kids about the changes, what they think might happen before you do it. Make it a big science project, and it'll be really fun. And I can't wait to hear about it. So you guys enjoy your spring break, and I can't wait to see you next time.